Hello, listeners. Hi, my name is Madhavi, and I'm so happy to have you on UppTalk. You have come to the right place if you want to learn about IT and do really cool things with your hands. We are not just another IT company when I say UppTalk. Think of us as your learning partner dedicated to helping you reach your full potential. We have top notch hands on courses to help you build your business, whether you are new to technology or want to move up in your current job. Let's look around this as our first step towards learning.
Yesterday. We were talking about the content builder and we talked about few of the content blocks. Today we'll continue our same topic and we cover the remaining content blocks in today's class. Let's go to our folder. Let's talk about the BRAS content block. If you remember when we were discussing about the A/B testing, email is told you there was 6 different types of test type, right? Let me just duplicate the tab and show you once again. We have the test type as subject line, content area, email from name, send date and time, right? These are the different test types. Another test type is this one, content area. In content area, what we used to do is, let's say we have one email message. In that email message, we have two different, area of the email or section of the email that we want to test. That should be, go ahead with the content area A or content area B. If you want to perform the A/B testing with that particular option, then we need to have the A/B test content block within the email message. Let me show you quickly. Let's say if I click on create a B test, and if you go to content areas, here we have to choose the email message that we need to test. If I'll go to our folder, which is this one, we cannot find any email message which has the current, which has this content block if you test content right. That is why it is not showing any email message over here. Now what we will be doing, we will be creating one A/B test content block, and then we will be adding this content block to the email message, and then we'll use that email message to perform the A/B testing. How it works is here we can and choose two different content block, content A and content B, and then we can basically decide but which content we can basically test, which content is uh, getting more engagement and is more suitable for our campaign. Let's say if you want to have only a single image or multiple images, that's what that we need to test. We'll have this image block as a content A, and then we'll click on browse button for the content B, and then we can select this image cross content block. Now what we're gonna do, let me just save this, maybe just block, and we'll click on save button. Now let me do one thing. I'll just be quickly creating an email message. we'll go through all these options about the email message and everything. For now, I'm just creating one email message that I can show you the application of a B test content blocker. We'll go to the Content tab to add the content block. We'll drag and drop this one. It has two content in content. Right now, I click on Done, and then I'll just mention the subject line. This is the email message that we have prepared. Now when I will come to a B testing, here I'll click on Choose button. I think I'll have to refresh this entire page. You can just refresh it. Now what will happen? Let's say we select this email message and now we perform the B testing. What will happen? Let's say we have 100 customers that we are choosing for the testing purpose, sort of 100 customers. Let's say we go 50%. Out of 100 customers, 50 customers will receive the email with this content and the remaining 50 customers will receive the email with content B. And now what we can do? We can basically go ahead with the click, like either open rate or a click to rate as a metric for the winner. Based on that, what we can do? We can we can determine that which content areas is performing better and which content area will get us more engagement, and then we can send the email with that particular content area to the remaining audience. Let me just show you once again. We'll go to content area, click on Choose button. Now we come to this folder. Here we can see this email message and click on Select button. It has basically converted this into two. Right, few customers would be receiving the email with content area A and the remaining customers will be receiving the email with content area B. If you want to perform the B testing with the test type as content areas, then your email message that you will be choosing must have the A/B test content block. Otherwise, you won't be able to perform the A/B testing with this content area option. Next, we're going to talk about as code snippet. A code snippet is generally used to write the code. We'll be talking about the AMPscript code and the SES code. That code that you can write it over here. That is not something that you want to show or in the email message. That is something that you want to display. This is generally used to write the code that you want to run in the background. Let's say you are writing the code to fetch the details from the data extension, and then maybe you want to format the data or something like that. Or let's say whenever the email is sent, you want to capture the send information and then store it into a data extension. Whatever the code that you want to run in background, we have AMPscript and SESGs. That's something we'll be writing over here. You can also write the HTML over here But for HTML, we already have, HTML block. Let me just exit. Next, we're going to talk about is the external content. The preview can be generated for the email messages. Whenever you develop the email here, you can see the type right. Type is template-based email, B-test, HTML. These are the content blocks, and this is the email. You can generate the preview for the email messages. In the preview, it would show that how it would look in different devices, let's say in mobile or in desktop. But it won't, show you that in a particular email client, let's say Outlook or Yahoo or Gmail. In different email clients, it doesn't, support that a feature that how it would look like in different email clients. You can basically send the email to your email address and then maybe your Gmail account or to your Outlook account, and then you can open the email from there. That's something you can do. Apart from that, there's another software that is called Litmus. If we have the Litmus account integrated with Sales Marketing Cloud, then we can use this Litmus one. This is the one. If we have the Litmus integrated with this, then we can basically check it on different email clients, different devices, like what it would look like on iPhone, would it look like on, on M Plus, Android, and other things. We can test it on different email clients and in different browsers as well. Next we have is the external content block. External content block helps you to fetch the content from the external web page and then display in the email message. Here you need to type the URL of the external web page. Let's say I'll type it that at type just to call and run for a /Google account. Now we have two different retrieval methods. Immediately means that whatever the content is available on this particular page, it will retrieve the content immediately, and that can be sent to the customer. Send time means that don't retrieve the content right now. Whenever we will send the email, retrieve the content at that point of time and then send the email to the customer. Let's say if we click on immediately, then it will fetch the content of this web page and then show it over here. Generally, we do not use this because it has got some styling issues, because this page that was designed right, it was designed for a web browser. In a web browser, we have the functionality to render all these styling, all these images and everything. But when you try to run the same thing in the email, that won't, render properly. You'll have some styling issues, but the content wise, you can retrieve. It has a very limited use cases. One of the use case could be to, let's say you want to show your ranking on Google to the customer side, that what is your current ranking. It increases the credibility of your company. What you can do, you can, use that. Let's say Google come and then queries equals to, let's say, your company name. And then you can have this as a content block in your email message, and then later, and like at the bottom you can, or maybe at the top you can have some text that that our company is on ranking number 1 on Google search engine and things like that. That could be one of the use case. Or let's say you have your web page where you're storing some data, and then at the email send time, you want to retrieve the data from the website and then you send it to the customer. That's something you can do. And then we have the block styling options and then the stimulator. whatever we are doing in the content path and the corresponding HTML code will automatically be generated. Now, let me just save this. We have talked about freeform HTML, image, cross-image block. Let's talk about the layout one. Layout basically gives you the structure, right? Let's say what we want to do is that we want to have some, let's say we are promoting different products to the user that this is a product. The user came to our website and then we want to suggest those products to the customer. Now what we want to do? We want to put all these things in a particular structure. Like we will have one image, we will have product description, product price, and the buy now link button. We can choose that how we want to place these different content blocks together. Otherwise, what will happen? Let's say if you do not choose a layout, then all these content blocks will be in a stack position, like one above another. Here what we can do, let's say if we choose this one and click on here, we have different layout options like empty, in which we can just place any content block. In Hero, we will get some idea that here we can press button, here we have the images and we have text, and then we have 1 column, 2 column and 3 column layout as well. Let's see if we'll go ahead with Hero and then click on select. What we can do, here we can place the product image, here we can have some product description and product name, and then here we can have the buy now button. This is the exact format or the layout or the structure we can place in the email message as it is otherwise. Let's say if I want to build the same thing using the different content blocks, then that is not possible, right? I mean, if I'll, drag and drop any content and block, that will be, be dragged the below or the above. It cannot be arranged in this particular fashion. We can use the layout to form a particular structure in which we want to place a different content blocks. Either we can, choose a particular image over here and we can have some title in the button here. Let me just save this. Next, we have a social follow content block. Social follow content block helps you to include the social network links that the customer can use and follow, or the company's social media handles. Let's say we want to give, let's say, Facebook.com of. Let's say the company's name is TestUpC. That's something we can put it over here. We have other social media networks that you can add. We have Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Pinterest, Instagram, YouTube, and Snapchat. You don't need to, create these icons from your own. We just need to click on Add Social Network, and let's see. If you want to add LinkedIn, then we can do that. This you can place at the inner footer of the email message. The user can click on Facebook link and then the user will be redirected to the company's Facebook page, and there the customer can follow a company's social media handle. And then we have the styling option. You can align it to the left, right, or center. Layout. We have horizontal or vertical. These are the different styling options like black and white, small and large icons. And here we can also style the text if you want to make it, if you want to change the color or maybe the font of the text. And then we have the block settings that will be applied on the entire block: border, color, space, margin, and these things. Let me just save this block. Social. Next content block, we have a social share. Social share content block helps you to share this email message on your preferred social media network. Let's say the way you share something. Let's say you have one file and you want to share it on WhatsApp, right? What you do? You click on share button and then you get all these different applications that you can use to share the content. You can choose one of the application and then you can share the content, right? Similarly, when you receive the email message and you have these buttons, you can click on this one, let's say Facebook to Twitter, forward to a friend. And then this will open your own Facebook page. There, you can share this email message with your Facebook friends or followers. Here we have 4 different social media networks by default: Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and forward to a friend. Here you will not get the option to add the all because this will redirect you to your own Facebook page or to your own Twitter page where you can share this email message with your friends. And then we have got the same styling options like alignment, layout styling, and then the font changes. Same thing. Now we're going to discuss about the dynamic content and then enhance dynamic content. What is the dynamic content? Dynamic content means that the content will not be same to all the customers in the email message, right? Let's say if I'm targeting 100 customers, to some of the customers the content would be, different, and to other customers the content would be different. Dynamic content means that changing the content based on the subscriber. How do you do that? Let's say what we want to do, that we want to show the different content to our different customers based on their city value. We want to show them the nearby service centers, based on the city. Let's say if somebody lives in, let's say Delhi, we want to show them the nearby service like service centers nearby Delhi. If somebody lives in Hyderabad, then we want to show them the nearby service centers to Hyderabad. That's something that we want to do. Now, there could be a possibility that, few of the customers have not provided the city value. In that case, maybe we can, show them that we don't have your city, with us, like city value with us. You can provide us that, we can give you the information that you're looking for. The use case you can, build is, let's say the customer, comes to our website and then they request, to receive the email, and they want to know about the nearest service centers. What we can do, we can develop this email message and then we can send this to the customers and it will show them the nearest service centers based on the city value. First of all, we have to develop the individual content blocks that will be shown to the user. What we are going to do, let me just click on exit. I think I have already done that. I'm just gonna click on exit. I've already created the few of the text content blocks. Let's say this is one of the text content block in which we have this content that below is the list of service centers for the Hyderabad B, C, D. Let's say, and let's see this another content block. For somebody who lives in Delhi, we are going to show this content block to them. That below is the list of service center for Delhi B, C, D. Now, let's say if somebody lives in Bangalore, then this is the content block that we are going to show to them. That is the list of service center. I mean, this is the static content. I mean, we can change the web page based on that. And if somebody does not have provided the city value, then we can say that not for this one. And let's say we have this content blocks, right? Had to buy Delhi, Bangalore. If somebody provides a city value other than that, what we can do? We can show them a default content block. That's sorry, we do not operate in your city. That's something we can do. Now, what we are gonna do is we'll click on dynamic content and then here we'll be creating rule number 1. Now that, what is the rule? Rule is the criteria, right? That based on what criteria we are going to show of which content block to the customer. Let's say if city value is equals to this, then we will show this content. This is the rule that we have to create now that the field name that I'm saying city. The system is asking that from where you are going to pick the value of the city. Are you going to pick up the value from the list or the data extension? If we have the data stored in list, then we can go with the profile attributes. And if we have the data stored in data extension, then we can go out with the data extension. For now, I'm going to choose the data extension and click on. And now I need to choose the which data extension where I have the city value or where I have the city field. We have created the state extension. I'm going to choose this one, click on. Here we have the city field. I will drag and drop this one and I'll see that if city is equals to, let's say Delhi, then click on. Here we have to choose the content. I'll click on select button. I'll go to this folder and I'll be choosing this Delhi content block. What I'm saying, the system is that if for any customer, if city is equals to Delhi, then display this content block and I'll just click on save button. This is how I have created the rule number 1. Now I'll click on this plus icon to create a rule number 2. Now here I'll see if city is equals to say let's Hyderabad, then we have to show other content block, that is this one, and click on select button. Click on save. Now let's create rule number 3, where city is equals to bankroll. We need to show our different content block, that is our Bangalore content block. This one now. Click on Save. Now, in case that if somebody has provided a city value other than that, then we are going to show our default content block. Right? I'll click on Browse button to select the default content. You click on Browse, and then I'll be choosing this is the default block, and click on Select, and now click on Save button. Apart from that, we have this block settings only. I'll say, let's see how we can use this content block now. Let's go to Get Extension, where we have different customers having different city value. At least here we have different values. Here we have Hyderabad. Here we have Delhi. We'll be using this date extension. Let's say we are sending the email to all these customers. Now, based on the city value, we need to show the different content block to the customers. What we'll be doing? Let me select one email message. Let's say this one, and let me click on Edit Content. Let me delete this content block that you don't get confused, and then the dynamic content block that we have created. I'll be dragging and dropping that content block on the canvas. Let it load. Here we have this dynamic content block. Now what I'll do? I'll generate the preview, and then we will understand that for different customers, what would be the preview. Let me choose the date extension, where we have a list of different customers. If somebody has a city value daily, then this is the content block that would be shown to the user. Uh, Another, if city is close to Pune, then it means that we do not, have that city value in our criteria, and it will show our default content block for Pune. If we have a null, then also it will show the same thing. And if we have Hyderabad, then it will show the Hyderabad content block. And if it is Bangalore, then it will show that one, right. Let's say if you do not have a dynamic content block, in very simple terms, let's say if we have different customer side, let's say we are operating in 3 different cities, what we will be doing, we have different, like we will be creating different data extensions right in one. Data extension will be keeping all those customers who are part of, let's say, Delhi, right? We can use filters, right? Filter data extensions. And then we can create 3 to 4 different data extensions where we will be keeping the customers from these individual cities. Now again, we have to create 3 to 4 different email messages. One different email message that will, contain this content. The another email message will contain a different content, let's say for Delhi customers, and then we'll be sending the email separately, to all these customers, right? That's something we can do if we do not have a dynamic content block. Now we can understand and we can realize the potential of the dynamic content block, that we do not need to do all of these things. We can have a single data extension in which we have all these customers, and we do not need to create a multiple email messages. We can only just use single email message in which we can use a dynamic content block to show dynamic content to the customers, right? Let's say if my client operates in, let's say, 30 different cities, then we'll have to create these 30 content blocks, right? This 30 text content blocks. First of all, that is a big headache. After that, we have to create the dynamic content block in which we have to, create all these rules, 30 different tools, right? That is a big headache. The only drawback that we have the dynamic content block is that it is not, very suitable for the large number of conditions. If we have more than, let's say 10, 15 conditions, then it becomes becomes very tough, and also like, maintenance wise also, it is not, that efficient. For that, we have something called Enhanced Dynamic Content Block. Please do like, share, and subscribe to our channel. For more information, contact us sales@therightuptalk.com.